evolve. If I could have got the your height, the Sadiq height, so anywhere from 6'4" to 6'6", I would have played daggum DN.
You would have played DN if you were my size. If I had your speed, that gum, I'd have been running back, wide receiver. Probably would have got me a nice little paycheck somewhere. There you go.
Probably so. That'd have been a big, scary damn running back wide receiver, though. I don't think I want to hit you.
I agree. So,
good gracious, man.
Man, I mean, we're both knuckleheads. Maybe it's the whole idea of like being, what do you call it? Grass is green on the other side.
Yeah. Now we old.
Now we old, man.
Bro,
I understand a lot of things.
Me and Tane were just talking the other day, man, right? We were just talking, and he was like, man, I was just thinking, man, your birthday is too much, man. You're going to be 38. He said, bro, we old.
Well, it
don't even seem like it, man.
But here's the weird thing. We're too old to not be doing some things and too old to be doing others. I mean, like, we definitely too old to be, I don't know, let's say flashing someone in the dadgum pool. What is his problem?
Man, this fool.
Come on, man.
Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, is that's who you talk about, right?
Yes, Antonio Brown.
He's at it again. He's at it again. But my question is, I guess it's my question. I'm going to answer my question.
Whoa. I'm not sure where you're about to go with this. I'm not sure what ridiculousness you're about to say. But let's start the show.
Let's.
Hey, welcome back to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your host, Gales. As usual, to my left is what's the point? What's the point? What are you doing?
Because I didn't know which one. I was trying to point at you, but I was pointing this way.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. Is where I am. To my left is where you are. What's happening, man?
What's up, man? This is insane Mr. Dean with my brother, Mr. Gales, who was a little bit under the weather last week. Didn't make him look no damn better this week, but he's back. And we're back for another great show with Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. And back to the topic in hand. You daggum right. TW, you know what it is. I ain't got to say it. Do I need to say it? The whole fucking show.
It's all there. Hold on. Let's pay the man, paying bills.
That's the way to start it off. That's the way to start it off.
Come on now.
But since we started off,
what craziness was you about to say about that gum Antonio Brown? Go.
Antonio Brown. It's a question. I guess I'm gonna answer my question. Is Antonio Brown, is he really throwed off or is he smart?
Oh, you're going to have to elaborate on that, my brother, because I, again, do not know where you're going with this. Is he a clown or is he smart? Is that what you're asking?
Is he thrown off
up
here or is he smart up here?
Or is he smart?
And the reason why I say that, look at all the stuff that Antonio Brown has done, right? A lot of over-the-edge, outrageous bullshit, as we know it.
Man, what the fuck are you doing?
And it's thrown off, and it's also comical. Why I say is he really thrown off? Is he smart? Why I say is he smart? Antonio Brown got himself kicked out of the league. He did that. So you don't have millions of people watching you play football no more. So what do? He go out and do other little dumbass antics to get people, millions of people to look at him on a different site other than the football field. Because wherever Antonio Brown go, there's a camera phone, a TMZ, somebody on it. Prime example, what he just did over the weekend. He in a pool in Dubai. He with a lady. Well, I don't know if he with her or not. Anyway, the man pulls down his pants, jumps up out the water, put his ass in her face. Then he turned around and showed a jump to her. And people is egging him on to do it. Antonio Brown feeds off of this shit. So that's what I'm saying. is Antonio Brown really throwed off? Was he really smart? Right. Downtown Jeremy Brown said it the best, attention whore. Because he do stuff and it's going to get everybody's attention because it's Antonio Brown and everything he has done. But do this not build up his Instagram followings and stuff? Don't you start getting paid off shit like that? Think about what I'm saying, man. I don't really think Antonio Brown is throwed out. Antonio Brown know exactly every damn thing he's doing. He got a little bit of offness up in the brain, but he know everything that he's doing. He's not to the point mentally that he do not know what the hell he's doing. Antonio Brown know what he's doing.
I don't know. All right, I don't know the man. I don't know much about the man's history. I mean, I don't know if he's been diagnosed with anything or what. What I do know is that the brain is a very, very fickle thing, right? You can clip a man's chin just a little bit and jostle the brain just the right way, and he won't be knocked out, but he won't be able to function, right? That's how fragile the brain is. But I don't know. I don't know what. Like, even if he's not, as you said, thrown off, right? And he's doing this as, Jeremy Brown says, just being an attention whore, as he put it. Like, I don't know. There's got to be something jostled up there for you to even want that. I mean, look at us on, like, the social media and all this stuff. Like, it's got to be something a bit off for you to base everything about you on whether or not you're getting likes, views, or whatever, right? Like we talked about before, when you start talking to these kids now, let them know that your job, your sport that you play, whatever, that's not who you are. Dean, you are not a ball player. Balling is something you do. And we got to start to separate those things and try to understand more about who we are. But Antonio Brown, I don't know, man. I think he's caught in that same sort of thing that people who are famous get caught in, especially when they're not doing the thing that got them the fame anymore. You got to start looking for other ways. And if you haven't educated yourself on how to do that, then you have to resort to these sort of things.
Well,
I don't know.
He's damn sure resulting to him. And it's sad, but it's funny all at the same time because who else would do some shit like that? Outside Antonio, just think about any other athlete that played in any other profession. Well, we could think of some that probably would do it, but Dennis Rodman is 60 years old now, or 50 something. He's not going to do that now. You know what I mean? Dennis Rodman, that's something that you could see Dennis Rodman doing back in the day. Dennis Rodman, that's the thing about it. A lot of this shit these players doing now, trying to be outrageous. Dennis Rodman was doing this shit 20 some years ago. Think about it. It just wasn't no social media around. It wasn't no internet. Dennis Rodman was doing all this crazy stuff, Right. But now you got the cameras, the camera phone, TMZ, social media. It's just out there more now. But if you think about right now today, what ex-athlete would do some silly shit like that other than Antonio Brown? The man farted in his doctor's face, for God's sake.
I don't know. And
laughed about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know what to do with something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I've done okay. And in all fairness, I can look back on my own life, Mr. Dean, and just think, what the crap was I thinking? What was I doing? Like, why was I doing it? Right? We all have moments like that. I think if nobody checks that, right? Because I was blessed to have my friends and family around me being like, hey, man, whoa, what are you doing? And me being like, oh, shoot, that's right. I don't know if there's anybody around that dude who's checking him in that way. He definitely doesn't seem to be able to regulate that for himself. So I don't know. I don't know what we do about something like that.
It's the pool thing that he just did. Then he tweeted out Sunday night the picture of him and Tom Brady's wife.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Tom Brady took this guy in, wanted him down there in Tampa Bay, took him in his home for a few months. Then you post a picture of Tom Brady's wife saying, put that stuff on, knowing that they're having marital problems because Tom Brady retired and unretired to come back and play, and she didn't want that to happen. So now Antonio Brown is taking shots at Tom Brady, somebody who took you in, basically got you your last chance in the league, and now you're doing that. Again, is this guy throwed off or is he smart?
I mean, it'll keep his name in there, but my goodness,
It'll keep his name in there, yeah.
You're gonna try to stoke the fire on someone's personal life of the last dude who was really trying to help you. And a lot of people want to get on like, oh, Tom Brady only did that because he was talented, blah blah blah. Like, he could have did that with just about anybody. You know what I mean? So whether or not Tom Brady did this for his own selfish gain is irrelevant. He still did it, right? He still did it. I mean, there are a lot of times you tell people, hey, you should do things because they're the right thing. But guess what? If you're a horrible person, and don't want to do it, but you do it anyway, do the right thing anyway, I commend you for at least that much, right? We're judged on what we actually do, right? But I don't know. I don't know what drives him to do that and go that far, because he knows what he's doing with posting like that. So, again, maybe it's both. Maybe he's smart, but only in the throw it off type of way. You know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of people who are smart, right? But they do, like, I don't know, murder.
Right? It's, me and you were talking about it in the pre-show. It's sad and it's funny at the same time, man, because going back to the doctor issue, right? What the hell, as you as a doctor, think if somebody lift their leg up and fart in your place while you examine, fart in your face?
I mean, you have to try to.
Me being a doctor, I'm gonna want to grab your ass because he laughed about it. He didn't say, excuse me. He laughed and he bragged about it.
Come on, man. Like,
I mean, this guy took off his pads last year in the middle of a game in New York. It was kind of cold and rainy. Took his shit off, threw it in the stands, ran across the end zone, throwing his hands up, getting the crowd hype. Attention whore, as Mr. Brown said.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's keeping him relevant right now. That's why I say it's sad, but it's funny, and he's thrown off and he's smart because his name is not going on the radar. He'll do something again in about a month or two, if not another week or two.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, if it's that, I don't think he's consistent enough for it to be a legit, like, look at me, Louis sort of situation, right? As they call it. Look at me, Louis. Like, I don't think he's consistent enough. Like, every week I'm going to do something to go viral. Like, that's some, Tekashi 6ix9ine type stuff, right? That dude has made an industry around himself doing and saying and looking like ridiculous, right? Saying and doing ridiculous things and looking like, I guess his own style can be a little bit much, right? But I mean, people like that seem, again, a bit thrown off, but smart with it. Like, he don't even seem consistently to do that much.
And then the thing is,
hey, who that podcast?
What up? Who that podcast? And another thing that gets me, it was people encouraging him to do this shit in their pool, right? You seen it in the video and you heard it. Those same people will bash him for doing that. But you were just encouraging him to do that.
Oh, so like
you're egging him
in the pool.
This,
people in the pool, like saying, "Hold on, real quick."
Now all of a sudden, the woman she felt uncomfortable. Now she didn't really look uncomfortable in the video, but now all of a sudden it comes out she was uncomfortable. So those same guys that was in that pool edging him on and outside that pool, that's gonna be the same people bashing him on social media and stuff. Now, he was wrong. That wasn't right.
Jokes, but saying all the right things that you're supposed to say in 2022, right? She was horrified and shocked by his erratic behavior and all of these sort of things. Like, I don't know. Like, things have gotten so muddied and mixed up. Like, I don't know what to think about anything. Right, man? Hey, people, stay at home. Just stay at home. Go somewhere private. Like, I am not for people necessarily, buying that sort of company, let's just say. But if you got to choose between randomly trying this, like, I don't know, man. I think he just lives in a completely different world, and I'm not sure why. But I guarantee you, football plays a role in it.
Right.
Right?
Oh, yeah, because, as you know, a lot of football players, it ain't even just football players, a lot of athletes think they're invisible. They think law and shit don't apply to them, or consequence. Is prime example Antonio Brown. It's a lot of teams in NFL right now that need receivers. It's been a lot of injuries in the first 3 or 4 weeks. He possibly could have got a call But now with this shit, ain't nobody gonna call Antonio Brown.
man.
You know what I mean? It just ain't. I don't even think Jerry will call him. And you know, Jerry Jones will give anybody a chance. That's your team.
I don't know,
You
man. I don't know. Like
Jerry will give anybody a chance, man.
Like who had actual problems? You know what I mean? Like who had actual problems? Brett Favre. We don't apparently.
Oh man,
that story's not over yet.
That story definitely.
You know what he's alluding to, right?
Yeah, I know what he's alluding to.
Brett Favre
taking Mississippi money down there. That's what they're alluding to.
Yeah, but like where the money came from to get that volleyball stadium built, right? But again, this is I can't say it's a young guy thing because then Brett Favre is super old. Antonio Brown is 34. There's no reason for those guys to be doing what they were doing, but. I mean, no, hang on. Are we talking about the same thing? Are we talking about like picks Brett Favre sent captain? Or are we talking about that him snatching money from poor people?
Man, we talking about Brett Favre snatching money from poor people. You know what we talking about.
All right, just making sure because like
it's the reason why Brett Favre got so much NFL money left because hell he ain't been spending none of it. He's been spending the state of Mississippi money.
Right, snatching money. Yeah,
snatching money, man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like the idea that, and it wasn't just for that. He was asking for I guess a football stadium to be built and all kinds of stuff. Text messages showing it like, "Hey, I know this is wrong, but like, is there any way that I can't be connected to it?" So not like, "Hey, this is on the up and up, right, fellas?" And then going, "Yeah, this is good, Brett." No, like, "Hey, this comes out. Like, can I, get that get out of jail free card?"
The high school that he was coaching for down in Mississippi got a nice stadium. Wonder where that came from.
Which is crazy. That just seems more.
It wasn't Brett Favre's personal money. It wasn't his NFL Green Bay, Minnesota Viking, New York Jet money. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Like I don't know, man.
And it's been some more stuff going on in sports. We gonna get on that next week. The Boston Celtics coach, because that's a whole.
No, you keep teasing stuff and then we don't come through.
No. We're gonna do it next week because we still got to talk about our boy Tua and how the NFL, his team screwed him over.
All this kind of connects this idea of there's no consequences to your actions, right?
None. If you're a professional athlete.
No, but I'm saying that mindset starts really early, and it's usually something that you grow out of either naturally or through your environment or some combination of both. But the idea that you start off thinking, I'm invincible. I mean, think about a little kid. Like my son right now, go look at some Power Rangers and try to jump off of a couch. Like, hey, man, like what did Sinbad say in his stand-up special? He's like, see that special effects on TV. You just lay down there and cry and think about it for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jumping off of couches and stuff.
Like, but it's just like
you usually grow out of that, right?
Well, a couple of years ago, the Tennessee Titans, we picked the first round, the big offensive tackle from Georgia. Isaiah Wilson, 6'6", 6'7", about 360, just was a man child. He was supposed to be the next big thing to replace Taylor Lewan, because as we all know, Taylor Lewan sucks. He talk a lot and he damn sure don't produce. Well, Isaiah Wilson thought he was invincible. He was out partying during COVID, went over at TSU, wasn't supposed to be doing it. The Titans gave him a few chances, and he just kept on messing up to the point, they let him go. Miami picked him up, and he get another chance. He's pulling the same thing, drag racing and shit down in Miami. Dude, like this is your job. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm curious about the mindset because with his show, he tried to talk to parents of student athletes, like current student athletes, and the student athletes themselves. And I need them to be paying attention to this stuff. One, you're not invincible. Two, like once you run out your perceived usefulness to whatever sport, team, coach, whatever you're trying to eventually play for, that's it. That's it. Again, we want to repeat over and over, football is something you do, is not who you are. Same with basketball, same with General Motors, same with McDonald's, whatever you do, right? It's not who you are, it's what you do. Now, you can put a lot of who you are in it, but you can't you can't be thinking about this like this is make believe, man. This is very real. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses for especially people with football players, but my goodness, we're just gonna take a quick look at what happened to quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, there it is. And
You said
maybe
it
this
right.
is part of what's wrong. Maybe this is part of what's wrong with an Antonio Brown or Brett Favre who thinks, yeah, this will work.
This is the play where Tua Tagovailoa was chased down and slammed down by a Bengals defensive lineman. The dynamic quarterback was clearly in pain, his fingers clenched, lying there for several minutes before he was taken off the field on a stretcher. But many are questioning why he was on the field to begin with. On Sunday, just 4 days earlier, against the Buffalo Bills, Tua hit his head on the ground, grabbed his face mask, shook his head before stumbling to the ground. The team called it a back injury, and he returned to the game.
Last night was
All right.
Bro.
We ain't trying to get kicked over here today,
Bro.
But, whew.
As two guys that played football damn near all our lives. And I suffered 1 or 2 concussions playing. I think I played with one. I had 3 and I played with 1. I know I did. Anybody in their right mind know there wasn't no damn back injury, bro. It wasn't no back injury. The doctor of the team, who has now been fired, said it was a back injury. Because right now, Miami Dolphins they're riding high. They're good. I mean, when you got 2 players that run almost 30 miles an hour, and you got a guy that can get them the ball like it, you riding high. Okay, your starting quarterback go off on you hot right now. What's your chances to keep winning? It's gonna go very low, you know. So you kept this guy playing, and what happened 4 days later? He gets slammed on his head, and then he's instantly out. He was throwing gang signs, bro. He didn't know where he was at. And he's gonna be out for a while, man. His brain is shook. When you get a concussion, man, it shakes your head, it shakes your brain, man. This ain't no just come back in a week or 2, man. This dude's suffered 2 severe concussions. And it's gonna be hell to pay. Somebody got an answer for that. They already fired their team doctor, but it's gonna be more than that. Some owners, some GMs, the coach, everybody gonna have something to answer for in this shit.
No. Okay, so to what degree, right? You think they all about to lose their jobs? No. Will they pay a fine or something? Maybe, but what is that? Well, that's such a drop in the bucket. Like $1 million to some of these people is like you having to pay 50 cents for, I don't know, an apple turnover in Walmart somewhere. Like it's nothing to those dudes, especially since they're gonna get it right back. Right? But there are so many people involved here. Like you have Tua himself who went along with this. The coach, after seeing that, still was like, well, if he and the doctor say he's good, yeah. Right? As he makes the statement, I would have never knowingly put any of my players in a position to get hurt, which is kind of what happens every play. Like how was he able to say that with a straight face? You know, you and I, we love football. But my goodness, we have to understand, like, it's not good for you. People love smoking cigarettes. It ain't good for you, right? It's something about it that keeps bringing you back no matter what. And I think it's fair to start looking at the militarization of sports, right? Get out there and die and fight for your brothers. Like, we're playing a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. If I get out there and fight for my brother, what's going to happen when a better brother comes through? You're going to forget that I'm family. Like, especially when you hear all this NIL stuff and, college sports is ruined. But why? Because you now see some of the money? Like, I need people to understand that the NIL stuff, they're not splitting those TV contracts. They're not splitting anything that comes directly from merchandising, right, from any of those deals. They're just allowed to put their name on something and get some money. They found a way to get the players paid without paying them. Right? It's all dirty. It's all dirty. And we consume it because we like it. We're addicted to it, Dean. We are some fiends. We like our basketball. We like our football, and it all costs. But what got put into Tua's head that made him think, yeah, people die from concussions and the concussion illnesses, but I got to get out there for my team. What made Baker Mayfield get out there and fight for his team in a contract year, and then he got bounced? Like, what is it actually buying these people? We got to start looking at that.
Man, and I agree with you on that because my last year of playing semi-pro ball, that's when I got that third and last concussion. Man, I remember I went in, I played reckless anyway, and I went in and me and dude went head up. And as soon as I did it, I stayed down on the ground, and Danny said, "Man, you all right? Because you don't never stay down." I'm like, man, I think I'm concussed. I'm really like, I think I'm concussed. He like, man, you need to sit down. I'm like, nah, bro, it's a playoff game. Like, I'm gonna keep playing. And I stayed in and played that damn game. Concussed, drove home from Nashville, concussed. I stayed on the phone with Danny the whole time. Like, he made sure, but I stayed on the phone and drove back. But I knew I had concussion. But it was that.
Online?
No. It was that. What you talking about?
Paid? No, I know. Follow me here. Were you getting paid millions of dollars?
Nope.
Did you even have 100% coverage on insurance?
Yeah, I had 100% coverage on insurance.
But I'm saying, like, these are the things that we're doing for little back.
Right.
And why? Because of the love of the game and my brother, and I'm tough, and I'm all these things.
Because the only reason I stayed out there because it was a playoff game. I did not want to let my team down. I was valuable, and I knew the guy who backed me up wasn't going to give that same effort or be as valuable as me as that hybrid linebacker spot. So I stayed in, knowing I had concussion, woozy as hell, drove home on it. And I kept telling Danny that whole year, like, man, this is my last year. I don't know how much more my body can take because my neck was always sore, my shoulders sore. Finish that season out, we get to the last playoff game, MCL and meniscus. Dude hit me, put his helmet in my knee, it's gone. And I said, yeah, that's it. But I went out doing what I love to do. I went out in the battle of playing football, but was it really worth? Because like I still love the game, and if physically I could probably do it now, still don't know if my speed will be up with some of these kids, but like I would get out there and do it again. But then I always think about it because trust me, it's been 3 or 4 times when I'm like, I'm gonna get back out here and do this shit. Then I think about like, is it really worth it, man? 37 now. That 10 and MCL and meniscus, it took a whole year and a half for that to fully heal, and I still get fluid and stuff on it. That's something I got to deal with the rest of your life. Riding with that concussion like that, knowing I was concussed and kept playing. But it's the battle and the love that you don't want to let your teammates shit down, or just the love for that sport. But like you said, was it really worth it? No, because I wasn't getting semi-pro ball. You ain't getting paid. You just out there because you love to play the game. So I'm back and forth on it. I see what people at. Me, I'm gonna play injured. I always have. That's just me. I do it now. I still do it in pickup ball. But I get where you coming from. That it's dangerous to do that too, because they don't give a damn about you. Even in the NFL, they paying you millions of dollars or something, but you keep getting hurt. What they gonna do? They're gonna cut you, send you to another team. They're gonna sweep you off. They're gonna find the next young gun that they can get in there. Same thing. You hear a lot of players talk about it now. They took all those shots and stuff back in the day, and they, oh, you good. And some guys got in with torn ligaments and everything. Didn't know it because the shots don't do nothing but numb you up. And a lot of them got addicted to this stuff over the years. You know what I mean? So I get it from both sides. The fight in you and the warrior in you, you want to stay in there, but then you also got to use your brain to be like, damn, is it really worth it? You know what I'm saying? So I get it from both sides.
But wouldn't it be nice to have people around you that you could trust to be like, hey, man, thank you so much for your dedication, but no, because we simply care about you, the human being, right? But what they're doing is prioritizing you, the player, you, the product, over you, the human being. Because there is no sort of, I'm sure they have programs and classes you can take, but they build you up as you're the baddest, you're the biggest, you're the toughest, you're the strongest, be there for your brother, fight, kill for your brother, fight, kill. Okay, you're retired. Hey, now be a regular human being. Antonio Brown. Why can't you act like a regular human being? Because you told me I was a god all this time and you treated me like it. And now you're telling me to act like a normal human being? Yeah, I can't go back. What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm Brett Favre. What do you mean there are consequences? I'm out here trying to build a nice stadium, right? Like, what do you mean? Like, there are consequences to this stuff? Like, no, you told me I was a god. I'm special. I'm the greatest. I'm the biggest. I'm the baddest, strongest, whatever. And then as soon as I got off of that field, court, whatever it is, now I'm not. And I gotta learn. First of all, learn a whole different set of rules that I've not been playing by this entire time. What do you mean I can't just flash some girl my junk in the pool and she ain't just come over and surface me because I'm who I am? What do you mean this isn't okay? What do you mean that me as a NBA coach who's getting hollered at by someone who works for me, what do you mean I can't partake in that? What are you saying? And then y'all out here throwing terms around making me sound like a rapist? Come on, man. Right, and I get it. The world isn't fair, never has been, never will be. Even the Bible talks about it raining on the just as well as the unjust. Like, I don't know. None of this is fair. And you never get what's owed to you or what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. But if we, as student athletes, retired or current, and our parents don't understand how this works, then we're not going to negotiate for very much, and we just have to take whatever we're given while they're willing to give it to us. And that's my biggest question. Like, who is around Tua? Who was around Antonio Brown? Who's around the coach, the former coach with the Boston Celtics? Brett Favre. Who's around these people? And why aren't they equipped and prepared for the two different rules? Because here's my advice to you aspiring athletes out there right now and your parents. Start learning that now and start operating by the rules of regular society now. That way it won't be such a difficult transition. Because you can be fast and strong and big and bad and good or whatever now, but you better look around. As soon as you have outsaid the grace of the world, you're done. You are done. There's nothing you can do about it. But I don't know. What do we do about this, Dean?
Man, like you said, really just you as parents of athletes, yours ain't playing yet, but I know they will play. I'm parents of athletes. You got to try to teach them early that it's more than just a flash and dash. You know, as young athletes at your respectable sports, football, what do you say?
I love how the show starts for our audience, man. I really do.
Hey man, look, if somebody, hold on, you're right. I'm a coach, but if I got a player, cuss, I ain't gonna tell him to keep playing.
Wait a minute, Mr. Dean. Hold on. I love how you were in mid-thought and was like, hold on, stop all of that. What do you say?
Yeah, man. Because
for people who are listening only on Spotify and iTunes and all that, read Mr. Brown's comments, or we'll read Mr. Brown's comments and then you can address it. When he says, "Hey, Dean, if you coaching in the league, would you do it?" That's my best Jeremy Brown. I'm sorry, but
you almost sound like if I'm coaching in the league right now and I know I got a player could cuss, nah, I ain't gonna let him keep playing. I'm not, just because I played with him and I know what it do to you and how you feel. Just the experience, because I played. So if I'm a coach now and I'm coaching people, no, I ain't gonna let you play with a damn thing. Just because I did it don't mean I want nobody else to do it. That means really taking a helmet, going to hiding, and your ass ain't getting back in the game. Bro, you can be mad at me, but you're gonna thank me in the long run. You hear me saying?
I thought that's what he was talking about. I was just about to ask, like, wait a minute. I thought he was talking about basketball, but yeah. Talking about Ndoku. I can't even say it. Ndoku.
E-Man Udoka. Yeah. Man, he won't talk about that. He went from one thing to the other. Now he talk about E-Man Udoka. Yeah, I probably would have told him.
I think he was always talking about that, Dean. Look.
Are you talking about Udoka?
Let's try to be as accurately honest as possible. Okay? Me and Dean would like to think that in that position we would not do it. That man has a whole nother life right? A whole nother life besides us. Well, I mean, besides the one we have, right? And I'm sure you would agree, Mr. Dean. Like we would like to think in that same position. No, absolutely not. Not gonna do it. It ain't right. Move on.
Hey man,
Right?
look here. Look. You speak for your damn self on that. You dope shit, okay? But my thing is about the Boston Celtics coach, right?
Right.
If you're gonna suspend him for a year, then you might as well suspend a lot of other coaches and GM throughout the league. Because this summer gun ain't the only one who did this shit. He ain't the only one who did this shit.
Right, because how many people that'd be an interesting find right there. See if you in the audience can figure this out. How many people are currently married to someone that used to work for them? And I'm not talking about just NBA, but just across the board. Right? And there's some wild stuff in there, and I guess he got a little more brazen. I don't know enough about the story. That's why I keep saying, no, Dean. Dean's been trying to talk about this since he, broke the very first news break of it.
I got one more thing to say to it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I find it funny after all this shit with the Phoenix Suns and their owner. Then they come and try to attack and get E-Man and Doka. Me and Tane was just talking about this. It's awfully funny. You had to get him for all the shit that he was doing. So you got one of your people, but we got to come back and get him Doka. See, it was Mitch for match. We're going to get into this next week, buddy. I'm telling you, man. It's not coincidence, bro.
I'm saying hold on, conspiracy Dean.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm saying, because was he married to like Nia Long?
He was engaged to Nia Long. They weren't married.
Engaged to Nia Long.
And you got a lot of I seen a lot of people on Facebook and everything. They be like, man, that man was married to Nia Long. I would never. Man, in that moment of time, you can't say you would never. Jay-Z married to Beyonce. He still went out and did his thing. I don't want to hear that shit. In that moment in time, you don't know what's going through your mind. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what she said to him. You don't know what he said to her. You just can't say just because, he was engaged to Nia Long. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Well, you ain't E-Manny Doka. You don't go with Nia Long. Hell, you don't know. Some of you summer guns out there in just regular relationship and you will go mess with a crackhead. I mean, what the hell? I don't want to hear that shit.
I talked to some people. First of all, pay the bed all over the place.
Man, no. Because I don't like when people say, well, he had Nia Long. I wouldn't have did it. You don't know what you would have did.
But that's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's why I'll try to answer that question as delicately as I could, which is I like to think that I wouldn't. I like to think that my fiance was enough, or at least I had the, wherewithal to communicate whatever I'm feeling to my significant other, and then we either come up with something, whether it be rules, whether it be open, whatever, right? But I don't like the stuff around this story. Like, she worked under him. That's not allowed. Boom, automatic predator. Like, jeez. Like, you gotta have some kind of nuance about this. Like,
that dude, look, why?
I
don't want to make it sound like I'm all on his side.
Right.
He ain't no damn predator. This shit was consensual. This was an agreement.
That's a word that gets thrown out there, but like all of this. So what we're seeing is basically how the sausage is made. No pun intended. But I'm saying,
I don't eat pork.
There's There's some representation for the people who are reporting this thing. The same people the same people who are reporting this stuff has a relationship with, the people it's being reported on. We don't hear much from the so-called female subordinate or anything, but like even today they're putting stuff out like he used crude language in dialogue with the female subordinate prior to the start of improper relationship. Like, well, I don't understand what, like, besides just clickbait, I don't understand what these titles are trying to achieve here. Like, what exactly are you trying to say? Hey, Miss Phil, y'all, we're doing just fine, thank you. Yes, how are you gentlemen doing? That's Alabama manners right there. Love it. But yeah, I don't know why this is even a story. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
That's what I was saying, man. We're gonna get more into it next week, but to just bash this man, bro, this shit, This goes on every day.
Man, the bash you real quick, dude.
That's all right. My bad. It goes on. If you gonna find E-Man Udoka, well, suspend him for a year for this, well, you better start rounding up a lot of their GMs and head coaches with all the other teams in the NBA. Because he ain't the first one that did this, and he damn sure ain't gonna be the last. Everybody just gonna watch and cover their ass now. This shit been going on. This shit been going on for years.
Wait a minute.
It was going on. Hell, look at your boy Bobby Petrino down there in Arkansas. Hell, he was messing with a whole student. The dude from Auburn got a pretty wife. Was messing with a whole student. Jeremy Pruitt. I mean, the list goes on. It goes on. So if you go suspend him, don't just suspend Udoka. Go on and start doing your investigation on all these other coaches, GMs, and players and everything, like Matt Barnes said, because this shit goes on every day. This ain't just started. Bro, this ain't just started. Come on, man. You know it. I know it. And everybody out there know it.
So if you take a tour, I can't remember if it was MGM or whatever, etc. Right. The whole lot. Because there's always somebody, look, there's always a bigger fish, right? So that means even if you the towel boy is downtown, Jeffrey Brown is saying, like, there's somebody you probably work under with who's flirting with you or vice versa. And there's a relationship. Like, there's something to be said about working close proximity.
Bro, this shit happens in everyday life and just regular workplace. It happens in regular workplace.
How does that work with, like if you're at if you're at McDonald's and someone's been promoted to the fries and, somebody who's on, cleaning duty, y'all are flirting. Like, I just don't know. I like Marcus Smart's answer, which is, that's none of my business. Right? Is she filing charges? Is he saying that he was being inappropriate, right? Like, I would like to hear more from her, but if you're not hearing anything from her, like, is this now part of NBA policy? Is it part of the Boston Celtics policy? Is there some sort of policy he actually broke? Like, I don't know if it's just you can't suspend me on some sort of what do you call it? Imaginary, just understood rule, right? Is it a hard, fast rule? See, I just feel too ignorant to talk about this, man.
Well, we can get off of it. This is my argument, right? The Phoenix Sun coach, he get caught for saying the racist thing, talking down to employees from other races and stuff. So you got him, but since we got one of ours, we're gonna go get Udoka now. If you know what I'm saying? Okay, so because the Colin Kaepernick thing really started all this shit, if you think about it.
No, it's way before.
No. But you get what I'm saying. Get what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Okay, so you got the Phoenix Suns owner, which is a white guy. But we're not just gonna stop. Like, okay, we got one of ours, so now you can't say it's a race thing. But now we're gonna go get Udoka, a young up and coming coach that just took his team to the NBA Finals. Bro, this ain't nothing to get suspended for no year for.
Except in sports. Okay, this is just my opinion, and I understand what you're saying from the race angle, right? This is conspiracy Dean.
No, but that ain't me speaking. I'm the outside looking in.
But here's what I'm saying. There is something to be said, like, okay, as bad as this sounds, Dean, during slavery, right, you had some slaves who were able to fight. And when they won, they got the all-star treatment. You're not going to get whipped as much. You're not going to work the fields. You're not going to even have to work the house. We're going to throw you some drinks. We're going to throw you extra food. We're going to throw you women. Like, there was a different, even in slave times. I'm saying from then all the way to now, there is some kind of respect for talent. And that man was very, like, what are you taking straight to the finals, right?
Yeah, first year.
So I'm saying, why would you want to attack this if it's producing something for you, right? Like, maybe if they had another coach in mind, maybe if he, like, was he going at some exec's wife? Like, I don't know, but I don't think this was directly tied to necessarily race, directly tied to some sort of get back. You got one of ours, I'm gonna get one of yours.
Right. Well, the way my conspiracy self is like, okay, we made an example out of one of ours, we're gonna make an example out of one of yours.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the thing is I don't care what color you are. This shit goes on in every organization. Black, white, I don't care. It goes on every day. So if you're gonna get E-Man, if I'm saying it right, Udoka, whatever the name is, then you better start going to every other team in the NBA and start your investigation as of the day you caught him.
Hang on, we talked about this before. You do not get what you deserve, right? Man. You get what you negotiate for. Well, so no, none of this is fair. Life isn't fair. Nothing is fair.
Let's see how many more scandals get called out this year.
Nah. I don't think it's gonna be too many more because even this seems. Again, I have not looked into this. I'm still trying to figure out what the infraction is.
Hey, check this out. You got a coach. You got a coach on his phone right now. Be like, look at here. I'm gonna send your ass to Dubai. You better not say shit.
Hey, the man, what are you doing? Listen, Dean.
Come on, man. Look, they got receipts. There's been some money wiring going on. Some houses paid off. Your mama got a new house. There's some shit going. I'm telling you.
Pay the man, but here's what I'm saying. I don't even so like Miss Phil, y'all said, folks just keep their hands to themselves. There would be no drama, but by all I can't even say by all accounts. So far, what I've heard is this was a back and forth thing. Now they're trying to say the investigation reveals that he used crude language in a dialogue with her first.
Okay.
So before it was she was kind of pursuing, then it was he was pursuing, then it was like, well, it doesn't matter because of the position he holds, he should not be allowed to pursue because it could be that his position, right, because of the position that he held, that he was utilizing that power to get her to do stuff. Right? First of all,
hold on.
How insulting is that for a woman to be like, no. I flirted and pursued him.
Bro,
right? So you're saying, oh, but you're a woman. You don't know. You don't know what you're doing. It's because this powerful man told you to do it.
Check this out.
Like they don't got feelings too.
Listen to what I'm finna say to you, right?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Because I've been on both ends of the fucking stick. So I'm not gonna give all the blame to Udoka. She wanted it just as bad as he did.
Allegedly. We don't know.
Ain't no damn allegedly to it.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know, man.
We don't know.
Because I'm saying, okay, let me hit you with this again. Chicken on the egg.
Did he say out of his mouth?
No, okay. I don't know how to do this.
Talking like that, if they both talking like that through conversation or text messages, sexting. I mean, she said something too. It wasn't just him.
Okay,
bro,
even in the
real shit, man.
Here's what I'm saying, pay the man. So here's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying, but I don't know how we can fairly put that. Antonio Brown flashes a woman. She laughs and floats closer to him. I mean, is that because she feels, oh, I'm in danger if I don't do this and act this way? Because we're in Dubai, right? In a pool, bunch of dudes egging both of us on, essentially. Like, are they gonna then turn and attack me? Am I not gonna be able to have a good vacation? Like, we don't know what kind of pressure they may put on anybody. Even if it was vice versa, if a woman flashed her breast at some guy and he was like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess I gotta pretend like you know what I mean?" I don't know.
I get what you're saying, bro. I really do.
Oh, that's hard.
It is hard because, like, okay, yeah, man, that was weird. Anyway. Shit, man. Good God. But so okay, the Antonio Brown thing, right? He did do it, and she looked like she was indulged in it. And then all of a sudden, she started scooting back. You know, so it's like, okay, he did it, and it's like she was entertained by it. But it's like when she seen the cameras and stuff on, oh my God, it's insulting. Now I'm gonna get away from it. And when the cameras went out, we don't know what happened after the camera. You know what I mean?
Again, but what is it about that caliber of person, right? That you go on for so long thinking, oh, this is just how the way things work. Like, I mean, Deshaun Watson is still in the league. Yes, he is suspended for a great deal of his career. He didn't get to play all last year. Okay, he didn't get to play sports for 2 years. Then you got one of the biggest contracts ever. Like what it sounds like is, yeah, Deshaun Watson, go do your thing. They'll let you. You're a chiseled, young, very, very rich young black dude. Yeah, they'll just let it slide. And then all of a sudden, right, it flips when it doesn't, when you decide not to go with everyone else. Because say what you want to, they knew all this stuff was happening and were more than willing to cover it up until he would not play ball. And then all of a sudden we got to make it all of a sudden
hold on.
It's released.
You gotta pull that up that she just put in the chat. That's actually pretty funny.
But it's a thin line. And here's what I'm talking to, Miss Phil, y'all. I'm saying to men, women, either one, who's the perceived, high-ranking official on the power dynamic, right? I think the best thing to do, don't put yourself in this situation. Be very clear. And I think maybe educate yourself on, hey, you got to understand nuance. You got to understand the perceived possible pressure. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you have to. You just simply have to. Prisoners, right? You work for a prison, like say you're a male, you work in an all-female prison, right? If one of those females approach you, no matter how much she seemingly wants it, it is illegal for you to pursue her because she legally cannot give consent. And they did that because you can't really cipher through which ones are like just doing it to, okay, so I don't get beat or bullied or whatever, right? Or versus them versus which ones are like, no, I just really want to have sex with this person. You can't differentiate. So in prison, you make it illegal. Like, I don't know how we start to litigate this in the real world, but I do know, like, it's tough. You have to be very, very clear. You have to understand that, yeah, maybe in the moment, like this idea of mass hysteria, right? You're in the crowd and they're yelling crazy stuff and you start yelling crazy stuff. Then on the ride back, it's like, whoa, what was that? Right? But these guys are in very public view and they don't get that quiet ride home of, whoa, what was that? Well, I can't be doing that. I can't be saying this, whatever the case may be. But we can't really tell. So, I don't know. They kind of have a workaround, which is if you want to be involved with somebody who's at a lesser station or that you guys work together, you disclose it. Both of you have to disclose it. If one of y'all decide not to, then, off limits.
Bro, it's just, this shit go on without people with money.
Hey, man.
These are rich people. As we know, rich people do a lot of crazy stuff and indulge in this type of shit. You know it, man. I got a lot of friends that got a little bit of change in their pocket, man. And I know some of the stuff they do now. You hear me? I know. And I know a lot of hush money get thrown around to keep stuff hush. But it also go on in just everyday life. Like I said, I've been on both sides, bro. So that's why I can't put all the blame on him. I can't put all the blame on her. But they both was indulging in it, so you both in the wrong. It ain't one more wrong than the other. So that's why I quit. That's why I say the media has got to quit trying to put all the blame on Udoka. If they both was having these conversations on a daily basis, if you're having them conversations on a daily basis, it's going to lead to something. That's all I'm saying.
But chicken or the egg, right? Just like Miss Phil, y'all are saying here, right? To have sex with someone willingly, basically, and then to cry rape later is wrong. It is wrong. But we're not here to talk about right or wrong and what's fair, right? Again, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate for. And what we as student athletes and parents of student athletes have to start telling our children, men, women, or whatever, is that you have to understand your position and what people might do. I know this seems like a very cynical, hard world to live in. But if that girl comes to your room, Mike Tyson, saying, oh, just want to play some cards, maybe not. Or maybe shoot, do like Dave Chappelle did in his skit, like, hey, sign this contract that you're trying to have a sexual relationship, and here's what you like, check it off like a menu, right? What you're willing to do, and like, here's our word that if I say this word, all activity must stop, right? Like I don't know how far we take this, but I mean, you would like to think that adults, consenting age adults, should be able to have those conversations, throw those vibes or whatever. And if you misread it, then fine. You know, that's a bad date, right? I don't need to necessarily put you in jail. Like in the case of your boy Aziz Ansari, who went on the date, seemed to be going well from his perspective, right? Went, had consensual sex, and then later on said, you know, well, I really didn't want to. I felt kind of pressured to do it because he just seemed to really want to. Oh, that's a bad date. That's a bad decision in my mind. That is not the same as rape. It's not Harvey Weinstein, right? It's not Jeffrey Epstein. It is, there's got to be some sort of nuance with these conversations. Until I get more information, I don't know what to think about this Celtics coach. I'm just going to call him Celtics coach till I learn how to say his name properly.
Yeah, I know. I done said
that.
I done said about 9 different names.
Right, the Kobe Bryant thing, you know, why, like, I know as a hotel concierge or whatever, we're not supposed to be even interacting that way, right? But who knows if the lady says, I thought this was a good idea, but you know what? I'm human and I don't want to. He was like, girl, whatever. I know why you're here. Then it becomes wrong on his part. God bless the day. Like, I don't know. We're not inside those rooms. We don't know what people
right.
But how many times, Dean, did you think, oh, this is a great idea? And then what, right before it was about to happen? Not even talking about sex, just anything. That go car. That go, how about this? An outfit. You go outside, think, yeah, this is fine. And a couple of bad looks, you're like, ooh, I wish I could have changed this outfit. I know I'm over.
I don't know, man. When I step out, man, I step out pretty clean. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, man. When I step out pretty clean, man.
I'm just saying.
There's always my shoe game be on point. But I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying.
Like you start off
we all
and then you change. I don't know.
Right. We all have done something. Be like, God, like, why did I do it? After you done did it, was that the right decision to do?
Why didn't you just say?
I get what you're saying, bro. I really do, man.
Why not just say something to like, hey, man, look, hey, Vandy, hey, you know those tutors and laptops and all this worldwide resources you're offering me? I need the help. I do need the help. Instead of me being 18 and thinking, no, I'll figure it out. Oh my goodness, it still haunts me, Dean. It still haunts me.
Man,
you need this, you need that. We got the world's best, blah, 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 blah. Like, no. I got it, coach.
Bro, look, I tell my boys this all the time when it comes to ball. Because I was kind of greased through high school. I had, like I said, I had 3 teachers that I know really gave a damn, maybe 4. And they pushed me. The rest of them, I was a good athlete, so I knew I could get away with shit. I used to go into class on Friday, and I tell them, I'm not doing no homework. I'm not doing nothing today. And I got away with it. But, like, going back and thinking now, like, damn, I really didn't try to apply myself that hard. I wish them teachers had been hard on me and just not grease me through or let me get away with shit because I was a good athlete. Because it'll haunt you later on in your 30s. Now we're trying to teach our kids to do what we didn't do. Because I don't want my boys doing it. Like, I want them to have it up here. I don't care if you don't make it pro. But it's a million other things out here that you can be successful in life on. So don't be seldom to get greased through. You know what I'm saying? If a teacher's just going to be easy on you, you take that extra step and go find a tutor or something, get that extra work, or pick up a book and read, or hell, now internet, you can get in Google something. Just don't accept getting greased through and like, well, that's how I got through because I accepted that and it haunted me for years. You know what I mean? It really did. Yeah, I was a great athlete, but I would have rather been a great athlete with a great brain. Instead of learning a lot of shit now in my 30s, I wish I had took all this back in my teens, but I didn't. But you live and you learn, though, and I've lived and I learned.
So, what all the most interesting thing about all of this is the brain and how powerful it is. It cannot tell the difference between reality and fiction. It only bases everything off of what we do. Mm-hmm. Like my favorite example in the whole wide world right now is the tennis player that got hooked up to a bunch of machines. This guy, he got hooked up to a bunch of machines and played tennis, and they had all these readings. And the next day they had him come back, hooked up to a bunch of machines, and just had him sit quietly and think about playing tennis. Don't you know he got the same reaction from those machines? That's how powerful the brain is. But it's also fragile. But God clips you on the tip of your tip of your chin the right way, your body won't work. So what are we doing when these football players, every single play, are having car accidents? But you're being told, do it because you're a warrior. Kill, fight for your team. Be big, be bad, be strong. You the best, you the greatest. Boom. That's all over. Now be a regular human being. That's not how the brain works. That's not how the brain works. And you need to understand that same sort of thing needs to be extended to women involved in these situations, which is, hey, boy, what's up? Flirt, flirt, flirt. Yeah, I want it. I want it. Oh, my goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Now it's too late. What do you do with that? What do you do with that? I think that's something we all got to figure out. I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, like, so for you, Dean, let me ask you this. What are the strongest days of the week?
For me?
I mean, just in general, what days, have strength? What are the strongest days of the week?
Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Let me tell you, it's just Saturday and Sunday. You know why?
So? Why?
Yeah, because Monday through Friday are weekdays.
Freaking idiot, but I love him. But he's still a freaking idiot. But that's the show for the day, people. That's the show for the day, man. Look, I really appreciate everybody that got in the chats. Appreciate everybody for watching the show. I tried to make it a funny show, but it was also we tried to make it a funny show, but it was also some seriousness in what we were talking about, because these things are serious. I just want people out there to know some of the choices you make in life can affect you for a long time. I'm a prime example of it. So just make the right choices. As an adult, you got kids, talk to them about doing that, because it can affect you all the way through your life. And like when I mean affect, like not have you in a mug shot or nothing like it, just mentally, some shit that you did in the past that wasn't the right choice, it stick with you. It comes up in your mind every now and then. So that's what I'm talking about. But I appreciate everybody for watching the show. We love y'all for watching the show. Like, share, follow, get our name out there, man. Look, we trying to get on the mainstream, and the only way we can do that is through y'all. So come back, keep coming back, keep coming back. We're going to keep making y'all laugh. Even when we try to have a serious show, we're going to keep making y'all laugh. We love y'all. Peace and love. See y'all next week.